Alright, I hope you guys are doing okay. I told you guys last week that I would try to get a video out for this week, and so that's what this is. Hopefully it can be up in time, maybe not. The editing, I don't know how that'll go. But in this video I'm kind of going through a new process of trying to do portraits in gouache, which I usually don't do very well in, but we'll get to all that later. But in this video I kind of tried a different technique and I think it turned out pretty good. But to start off with, I had to of course draw, and that's usually one of my weakest points, is the pencil drawing. But in this case it wasn't too bad. I really tried to focus on just the outlines of the shapes and then kind of subdividing the big shapes with like smaller ones, and I wasn't too focused on making this look like anybody or making this look like the reference. I, for the most part, was just focused on the overall like silhouette, and then I was also focused on the light and shadow, because that's what originally attracted me to this reference, was that big the big light on the left side, and then the shadow that really took over the most of the face. And so I wanted to make sure that I got that. But yeah, the sketch actually went pretty good, surprisingly. When I was starting it out, it actually kind of felt like it was about to be another failed painting in a row, or it felt like it was going to be another failed painting. But I just stuck it out, and I think we're going to see here in a little bit that the drawing actually turns out okay, at least for my skill level. And so at this point of the drawing, you can see that I'm already pretty happy with it, because now I'm just doing the close and I'm just doing single lines, which means that it's really not that important. Like, I'm just trying to just get a basic shape, not trying to get anything too accurate. And so yeah, I just keep the clothes and the shoulders kind of loose. And then pretty soon here we're going to come up on the first paint that I put down. Okay, yeah, so here we are. The original plan was to just put in the darkest parts, like the almost blacks, and then come in with the next darkest, and then the next lightest, and the next lightest, and next lightest, next lightest. Did I say that right? The darkest, and then progressively work lighter. But eventually I just started to use a little bit of water, and I essentially almost did like an ink drawing with gouache over the whole piece, and that, I feel like that really helped map out where things were gonna go. And so that technique is called grisaille or grisaille, I don't quite know. But I almost did that, but not quite. So when you do that, when you do grisaille or grisaille, whatever the word is, you like put down a value study essentially in like acrylics or something that's permanent, and then you wash over it with color, and so you essentially like, you don't have to do all this color mixing, you just do the values and then you paint over it with a thin wash. But in this case I did the like base drawing of the tones or the values, and then I used that as a reference to match the values of the colors. It's kind of confusing, but I guess you guys will see here in a second. Okay, here we are. So essentially from here on out, I'm trying to implement like almost a tiling method, which tiling is a really cool kind of paint style that I think works really well for gouache, because you don't have to mix very much. You just kind of place down the values and the colors in shapes that kind of patch together to be like just like, it's almost like an abstract painting, but on like it all comes together to look like what you want it to look like. And if you guys want to know more about tiling, you guys should look at Gil Robles, and then also Watts Atelier. Those are two really good resources for gouache tiling. Oh yeah, so essentially this kind of simplified method of painting that I've been working with now is, I guess it's kind of a mix of grisaille, I don't know the word, but it's almost a mix of that and then tiling, which is just putting down these colors in like little patchwork patterns and then kind of blending it all together. And I think that really worked out this time. Yeah, I wasn't too focused on making it look like a person, just making it look similar to the image that was on the screen. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. the beginning of the painting, I really did not want to have to resort to using colored pencils, but I felt that, I couldn't get these kind of sharp, faint lines without them, so I just ended up using them. So if you stuck around this long, all 15 minutes or so of it, I just want to say thank you for watching. I always appreciate it, and I guess I'll see you guys next time.